So if you guys are wondering how I get these cars that aren't running up the driveway, I have this big Continental tire right here, and I basically sandwich it in between the bumper and the car pushing it. There's no cracks on the paint, and you can see the tire usually sits right here, and it's just pushing the car forward, and then from here I'm able to push it back to the backyard. But Matrix is done. We're gonna let it sit outside on the street, and then we're just gonna work on it there. And then we're gonna bring the Scion back in and go from there. And it's like I find the tire was slipping right there. Yeah, it was slipping right there, so I had to come up with something. But let me stop talking and get this over with. A lot of explaining to do as to why he's not rolling up in his Matrix. Fucking Clayton. Shows your tattoo. I don't want to put my house address. Can you move to the right? What does it mean?
It's a tarot card.
A what?
Tarot card.
Tarot card?
Yes. It means connection.
Connection. Who you connected to?
Don't worry about it.
Whoa, come on.
And faithfulness. Don't worry about it.
Jinx.
I miss it.
Anyways, this is the XRS that I bought from the girl off Facebook, and I paid $400 for this. She listed it for $300, but I offered her an extra $100 because I wanted the car, and I told her to hold it for me. There's a battery over there. Oops.
My water bottle, bro. What the heck?
Nah. Actually, I'm gonna see if this one works.
Make up your mind, Mr. Battery Stealer.
This one I took from work.
You ready?
All right, let me see how many miles it has.
182.
182.
Security system.
Oh God. I hope that doesn't affect her from turning it on. Press unlock.
I'm pressing it.
Try to crank it. See what happens. Nothing.
There's a fail start somewhere, I think.
Press that button.
Well, this isn't a button. Oh, it is. I think it's just clicking, dude.
Trash ass aftermarket alarms. I hate them.
You ready?
Try.
What the fuck? Oh, did I use the wrong key? It wants to start. Hold on.
What? Did you hear that?
Yeah,
It sounded like
crank.
it sounded like it wanted to start. Oh, let me check the oil. So first step, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the coil packs. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. You need a long one for this one because it's the one that holds the engine cover. And then you have two 10mm nuts right here. And once that's out of the way, we can go ahead and remove the clips, the plugs that go to the coil packs. So we're gonna remove the two 10mm that are right on each side for the fan shroud.
You pull it straight up
And
like
pulls right up.
Oh,
You have to unplug the,
this thing's
yeah,
so rusty.
I know it is. Unplug the fan connector.
And then it's just, usually there's a little clip right here. Or right here, and you just pull it out. And then tuck that over there. Set that aside.
Yep.
Stock air box, pretty simple. Just pretty much unplugging everything.
I'm gonna go ahead and remove the stock air box. Removing the plug for the MAF.
And the evap solenoid in the back, or vacuum, or
The
whatever.
blue plug. This
Blue plug.
I'm blue, badu be badu bye.
Shut up.
But we have to remove we have to loosen this so that the top portion can come off. That is a 10 millimeter.
That was rusted, dude.
Milwaukee boys. What?
Upgraded from Harbor Freight. Or Bauer, or whatever their heck their brand is called. You just push this back,
Push
take off the
that
hose.
back.
You have these two little clips right here. You just push them back like this on each side. This just pops right up.
And anything connected to it. Oh, this one as well.
Right here.
Let's disconnect this one from over here. So this hose that goes from the stock gearbox, it comes over here. Yeah, right there. There you go. So we're just gonna go ahead and pull it out. So went ahead and remove that plug, the hose, vacuum line. And is there any other ones connected to it? To that.
There's an evap line right here. You want me to remove this real quick? Just
Yeah,
like this.
go ahead and
You just
move.
squeeze this little line on the back.
Yeah.
Comes right off. There's one right here as well on the
Yeah,
bottom.
there's another one right there. Not too hard, not too shabby. And I think there's another one. Yep.
Yeah, on the bottom
So
right
there's
here.
3 lines.
3 evap.
3 lines.
And then that should maybe be it. There's one right here, don't forget. Unless we can...
Wait, just take it off from over here. So you have the little nipple line, the little vacuum lines that go to one right here,
Nipple line.
and then another one that goes right here. And then we remove the air filter, and then you have 3 10 millimeter bolts. Go ahead and take those out, and then the whole piece will come right off. And we have to squeeze in the clips right here for that stock intake tube. And that will remove the stock airbox with the coupler. So this should come off as well. Get some crap out of the way.
I push this little pipe right here on the bottom.
You gotta push that in, kind of force it in.
That.
And I believe,
There might be one more sensor.
and I think they're just attached to it. Is there, can they be, yeah, so pull that line off. There's a clip, just pull it off. And then
This is an evap. Just keep that.
just unplug it. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, it's not my Matrix.
It is mine though. Oh, there it goes.
Yay.
And now the stock airbox should completely come off, right?
One evap line. right
One
on the
more
back.
evap line. Right there. Unplug that one. So if you guys do need to remember how to wire or how to hook this all up, there's a vacuum hose routing diagram underneath your hood. There you go.
And stock airbox is out.
Out.
Yay.
Stock airbox is out.
Ooh. I think next is cruise control or the
I
throttle
think this
cable.
is also a good point to drain any fluids that are inside the engine and transmission. So
I would just do coolant and transmission.
let's no, everything.
You want to do oil
Right
too?
here's an easy one. Right here's an easy one. This is the one for the coolant. We're gonna go ahead and unscrew it and get the catch can. And I'm pretty sure if you guys already own one of these vehicles, the drain for the transmission is right here. Right there. Right there. It's a 24 millimeter and 14 millimeter for the oil. So we went ahead and loosened this up. Right here it's a 14 millimeter. Gets the line for the throttle body out. And just set that aside. And we're gonna start draining the coolant right now, but we're gonna get the radiator hoses off. So you have this one right here. And then this one over
Which one's the heater for on the inside?
here. And then we have the other one over here. And then over here. We're gonna take off those 2 big coolant lines, radiator hoses, and then this should allow us to remove the radiator out Then we got two 12 millimeters right here holding the radiator in place. Go ahead and remove all these hoses just so that we have more space to remove the heater core hoses. You have this one hose, that's the one that goes to the solenoid over here, the evap one. These lines are most likely going to be all hard and brittle. And then you have this one that goes from the throttle body to the, I guess, the breather for the valve cover. And then that one is the PCV one that runs right here to the manifold. So you don't really have to take these off, but we just don't want to struggle with the heater core hoses. We want to get more space to be able to see. So we got two of the hoses off. That one's usually the one that's always cracked from the heat. So depending, is it?
Wow, no,
It's not cracked.
it's not even bloated.
Might reuse them, I guess. And then we have the one that goes to the boost or the brake master.
And for the brake air.
Yeah, I guess we can remove it from that spot over there. Yeah, we just pull on it. There you go. So we got all the hoses off. I'm gonna go ahead and save all those in the back. Just toss them in there. So I already removed the radiator hose 1 and 2, and the one that goes right here, which is this one. I'm gonna go ahead and save that and the radiator. We'll just pull it up out of the way. So now that we have the radiator removed, it gives us more space to access the clutch right here, the slave cylinder. It's held on by rusty 10 millimeter bolt and then two 12 millimeter bolts. Once you remove those, then the whole assembly will come off.
And there's a few 10 millimeters leading up to it.
This one looks like a 14 actually.
Oh yeah, never mind. And there's a few like clips right here, but you can just either remove this one or
Yeah,
whatever you want.
it's easier to just remove the bolt and just take off the whole bracket. Focus on that. Hopefully they don't break. Oh my god, that looks so rusty, dude. Rusty Shackelford. Please tell me you know where that's from.
It sounds familiar.
My name is Rusty Shackelford.
King of the Hill.
Oh, Rusty Shackelford.
When Dale was stealing his identity.
Yeah.
He was stealing his identity.
Whenever he gets in trouble, he always gets the name.
Yeah, and he finally met him in one episode.
Rusty Shackelford. What?
So stupid.
Oof. Are you gonna be able to get that? Remove the bracket. Move the bracket out of the way.
This?
Yeah, just move it. So we already removed the slave cylinder, all rusty. I'm probably gonna have to order another one just so it can be on the safe side.
Rusty and crusty, dude.
And we already got the line free. We got the two 14 millimeters that are right there and right there.
Maybe you just let it sit right there.
And then we lift this out of the way. Then that removes that. And then we have the reverse trigger right here. It's just a plug. This is the best thing ever. On manual transmissions do not have nothing of electronics other than the reverse trigger, which is a thing of beauty. So we get that out of the way, and then we move that. Yeah, get that in here. Watch out right here with the ground.
Fuck, dude. Hella shit in the way.
Bro, what are you doing?
I can't see. With your fat sausage fingers in the way.
That's messed up. So then we get the brake or the clutch cylinder over here and just let it sit there. It should be out of the way. And then we have a ground right here. What?
You're gonna remove the ground second because we're not removing the transmission, are we?
Well, we have to do. Look, it's connected to the transmission.
Are we removing the transmission?
Yes, it's a manual.
I thought.
Automatics you can remove just the engine. Manuals you can't.
Who?
Wow, what in tarnation? No, dude, we're taking it out.
Anyways, so yeah, just the what is that? Two grounds. There's one in the front. It's a 12 mil, and then
For those that are watching and are probably gonna ask, that's Clayton's friend. What was your name again?
What's up? I'm CJ.
CJ.
Yeah, welcome to YouTube.
Welcome to YouTube. You're gonna be behind a crowd of 5,700 people.
Oh, fun. Awesome. Yeah, he's almost to like, what, PewDiePie?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I'm like, do you know PewDiePie? Have
Yes.
you guys gone to like the YouTube cons or whatever together?
I only know PewDiePie because one of the people that I follow made fun of him. He made like a video calling him like all sorts of bad names. We're gonna remove the grounds. We have one ground right here connected to the transmission, and then the one right here for the battery terminal, which is right here. Easy stuff. Now we're gonna focus on the shift cables. You have that one spring on the top, or the wire. We're gonna pull that off, and then the washer should come off, and then the whole shift cable should slide right out. You have one right here, and then the other one is right here. You can get them from here, but easier access for this one is through the wheel well, driver's side.
All right, well, Seabass is gone. I'm going to take over for a little bit. We're going to start removing the axles and other portions. So first, you're obviously going to want to drain the transmission fluid, which is just a 24 millimeter. So we already got that drained. Next, you're going to be removing these two 22 millimeters on the top, which I'm not sure if they're supposed to be 22 or 19. Or if these are aftermarket bolts, but I mean, they look OEM to me. So they're 22 for this one, these two top two, and then remove this 14 mil right here, and then this, sometimes using 10 mil where that one goes. So I guess that one's missing. So just that 14, just so you can have some slack for the brake line and the ABS line. So yeah, I'm gonna remove those real quick. I forgot to also say you have to remove the axle nut, and for this one, this was a 12.30 millimeter, and this goes for both sides. So for this entire assembly, which is on the driver's side, it also works on the passenger side. So yeah, I'm going to be doing this, and then I'll take out the axle. All right, after pulling the axle through like this, I have this little trick we've seen on the channel a couple times. You have the shift fork from a C60 in the back. We have it lined up on the back side where the axle is. You take your, where'd I put them? My long stick of 3/8 extensions on the end right there of the fork, if I can focus it, and I'm going to smack the hell out of it with a hammer right here. If you want to hold this for me, my boy. So. It worked in the end, just had to get a better angle on it. So yeah, axle's out. We're going to go to the other side. I'm going to show you guys how to remove the passenger side axle, and then we're going to move on to removing the AC compressor and the power steering pump with the belt. So that's coming up next. Okay, so I just repeated what I did on the other side. So the 22 millimeters, the 14 on the top right there, and then the 30 millimeter axle nut. Look at that boot. Ugh.
Stinky.
Anyways, so there's a carrier bracket on the back side. This is the same exact thing as the Celicas, Corollas, XRSs. So I'm gonna come up underneath. You gotta crawl underneath. Look at all that rust. Nice. So look, so the 14 millimeter right here, you're gonna undo, and there's gonna be one towards the top. If I can try to get the camera on it. You see right there? Yeah, 14 millimeter, and then this 14 millimeter. And remove that, and then the axle just slides right out. So I'm gonna move those real quick, and then I'll get the camera of us removing it. Okay, so I moved the two 14 millimeters on the inside on the carrier bracket. All you do is just should just be able to remove it just like. Next up, I'm removing the heater core hoses. So there's one right here, and there's one on the back side, which is right there. So I already have this hose clamp off. Just pull it off, just like that. A little bit of coolant's gonna come out. Shove that to the side, and then remove the other hose clamp, remove the other heater core hose, and move on to the belt section. Alright, so I got both the heater core hoses off, one right there, and then the other one right here. There on the end. I got those two off. Remove over here, I'm going to be removing the AC compressor, and then also the power steering pump on the bottom. So I'm going to get that started. Alright, so you take a 19 millimeter ratchet. Make sure it's a 6-point, not a 12-point, or you're going to strip your tensioner, your serpentine belt tensioner. So if you look down there, that little nut is, let's see, that little one right there. You put that 19 millimeter over it, and then you tighten it and push it. Okay, zoom out, push it towards you, and then remove the belt off the alternator, and you get your belt off. I'm gonna do that real quick, and then removing the AC compressor. Next up, you're gonna wanna remove the little clip right here, just a little tiny one. Next comes up are those one, just gonna zoom in right there, so 1 and 2 12 millimeters, and then there's a third one on the top, right there. So I'm gonna remove those, and then you're gonna wanna move the AC compressor out of the way, which I'll show you guys in a second. All right, so after removing those 3 bolts, I also recommend removing this 10 mil right here and a 10 mil over there. I already removed them. So what you wanna do is kind of lift it up and get it out of the way. I'm just gonna leave it down here for now. Just gonna rest it until we start pulling out the engine. Anyways, so that's all done. Next is gonna be the power steering pump. And after that would be the exhaust bolts. And I believe it would just be motor mounts at this point. So yeah, I'm gonna work on those. All right, so for the power steering pump, the first step is you're gonna come to the wiring harness. And on the back side, you see this one little wire, and all the way down there is gonna be this little plug-in on top of the power steering pump, and you're gonna wanna unplug that. See it all the way down there? It's where my finger's pointing. But yeah, it's all the way down there, unplug it, and then we'll move on to unbolting it. So there we go. It's all unplugged right here. This little clip on the back. Got that all unplugged. And then we're gonna come down here. If you look at the power steering pump, it's gonna be, it's gonna be a 14 millimeter on the inside, and there's one on the very top. So I'm gonna get those done real quick.
So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the power steering bolts. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this power steering bolt right here. There's 2, there's one on top, there's one on the bottom, and then I'm gonna go ahead and remove the exhaust manifold bolts right here. And that should be it for the bottom side. And then we're gonna take off this axle. It's a bit seized, but we're gonna get a hammer and we're gonna get the pry bar right here and just hit it out.
You okay?
No, I'm not okay. Please finish it off.
Anyways, so over here, we're gonna start moving the motor mount. It's pretty simple. All there is gonna be 5 on the top and then 2 on the bottom. So it's gonna be 1, 2, and then there's gonna be 1 down there, 1 all the way down there, if you guys can see it right there, and then 1 on the very top right here. So we'll remove those real quick, and then there's 2 on the bottom. So just go back underneath, I'll show you guys. So yeah. Okay, so he got the rest of the shift assembly in the rear, and all I did was take up the those clips and lifted the shifter cables off the shift assembly on the rear. So that was pretty simple. Right here, what I'm doing is removing the other motor mount. So I got this one out. So basically there was 2 on the bottom you gotta remove. There's 2 14 millimeter nuts, but Seabass already got those. Anyways, so I'm gonna remove this next side mount and then the front one. The front one's pretty easy. So the side mount, what I would recommend doing first on it is you take your 14 millimeter wrench and you remove these 2 front ones. There's one right here. You can even see that. This one right here, and then 1 on the other side as well. So you remove those first, and then I would remove these 2 top ones and or the middle one in the center. So I'm gonna work on those real quick.
I need to save it for the live stream in a bit.
Save the sanity, boy.
Yes. Come on. We're
Damn,
almost
real
done.
mechanic hours.
We're almost done. We're almost
Look
done.
at your ear.
We're almost done. Come on.
Okay, so we're removing the rear one real quick. I got the 2 front bolts on the side right here. So it's kind of hard to see, but what you're going to want to do is, I highly recommend grabbing a, what is that?
Getting a friend and pulling out the bolt while,
That's going to be a hard step.
while someone else is hitting with the impact.
Yeah, a 1/2 inch impact right here with some extensions, which is 17 millimeter. So I can show you guys right here as I'm hitting it. You ready? Hold on. If it'll focus. There you go. Ready? Go for it. He's putting a regular transmission. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Boom. Okay, all that's left is the two mounts, and then we're gonna attach the
Engine hoist.
Actually, you probably should attach the engine hoist right now before we pull off the last two. So we're gonna clean up the cowl right now, and then we're gonna clean up everything real quick and get the engine hoist set up. So yeah, we're gonna do that real quick.
So I'm in here unplugging the ECU so that we can just pull the engine out completely with the engine harness intact. And all it is just feeding it through the rubber grommet, if you would like to show them the rubber grommet.
Yeah, and then he removed the glove box as well, you guys can see. So the rubber grommet's on the inside right here. See it back there. You just pull that through, and then you just pull the entire engine harness through, and then everything can come out in just one solid piece. So yeah, we're setting up the engine harness, give it some tension, and then we'll get back to you when we get the harness through. Okay, so we have some tension on the engine crane. We got it attached. Moving these two top ones, now I have to remove the side ones. So these real quick, which are 14s. There's one, and taking a couple lows. There we go. Okay, stop real quick, and then we'll get that middle one so we can remove the bracket. I'm gonna grab my extended 14 real quick. Give me a sec. Found the wrench. He's just removing the
bolt so we can get the motor mount out. Most likely the motor mount is shot.
Oh wow.
It's actually not.
But it's just rusted to hell.
Yeah.
Last motor mount's gonna be the front, pretty easy. Probably remove it right now. Mexican engineering.
It's all good.
Anyways, let's go. To give us a little bit more room, removing the motor mount, and then two. You get it? Wow. Jesus, that is rusted. Okay, well, boom. There's two 14 millimeters on the bottom. You can see them. They're on the cross member assembly. Jeez. Anyways, I guess we're gonna keep going.
Junk.
It says the guy who bought it.
You're a good buying it.
Huh?
You're a good buying it now.
I mean, $400, you can't beat it. So, anyways, as we'll keep going with this, just when you're pulling up the engine, make sure, watch it nice and steady, and watch out for the AC lines. All right, ready?
Battery tray is in the way, so we're gonna remove it.
It's what, 410 millimeters?
Yes. Ah, I hold my glasses.
Rip. Removing the front brackets, two 14 millimeters in the front. Just to give us a little extra room so we don't smack the AC condenser and spill refrigerant everywhere. We're gonna keep on going.
Clay, are you recording?
Yeah.
Fuck this shit. Fuck these bolts. Fuck this rust. And fuck this car. I'm glad this shit's out.
Oh my god. That shit's... Ugh.
Shit. Shit.
Make sure to edit this in towards the beginning of the video so people don't mess up like we did. So make sure to remove your fuel rail.
Make sure to unbolt your fuel rail, or if not, it's gonna get caught on your engine when you're trying to pull it out.
What he said. Anyways, so yeah, make sure to edit that in towards the beginning. So yeah, engine's out. Mission complete.
I'm happy. Mission accomplished. Accomplished day.
Is this the end of the video?
Yeah, this is the end, guys. This is how to remove a 2ZZ from a Corolla XRS.
Matrix XRS.
Yes, yes,
/ Pontiac Vibe GT.
yes.
But yeah, any last words?
There's not much difference. They're about the same. There's other ways that you could have done it. You could have removed the whole harness itself, the accessories, and everything like separately. But we just wanted to take it out as one solid piece because it's easier to work outside the vehicle than inside.
So yeah. Anyways, so we'll do it for this video. I guess we'll see you guys in the next.
All right, see you guys.
Adios.